Marshall Ferguson here with your final Central Scouting Bureau rankings for the 2025 CFL Draft. Yes, it is coming up very quickly. April 29th is when all of these players will get selected. This is the top 20 list as selected going into this process. You see a lot of movement. We have 7 USports athletes, 13 from NCAA schools, and a pair of quarterbacks as well. Let's dig into it. Jeremiah Ojo from the Montreal Caravan, defensive lineman. I thought he was extremely impressive at the combine. He ends up going back 9 spots, which is a little bit precarious, while Wilfrid Laurier quarterback Taylor Elgersma goes up 6 spots after an excellent spring throughout the draft process. He's going to get a couple of bites at the NFL, but I wonder how early someone will take him up here in the north. And finally is Jackson Finley, an absolute standout, the free safety from the Western Mustangs. He goes back 5 spots as well, but still very much solidly in the top 10. I think once we end up seeing draft day actually come in just a couple of weeks. Let's move into the top 10, and moving into the top 10, up 1 spot from the previous rankings, is Yukon offensive lineman Christopher Fortan from Saint Rene, Quebec. He allowed zero sacks in 2024 on 421 pass protection snaps. An exceptional talent. He's got the prototypical size, and he will be very sought after early and often in the CFL Draft. At number 9, it's Montana defensive lineman Hayden Harris. A very solid pro day. He's got some great athletic testing scores. He's 6'5", 255, so you love the size. And he's got some family ties. Despite being born in the United States, his mother was actually born in Vancouver and raised in Regina, Saskatchewan. So Rough Riders fans, if you're looking for a pass rusher, this might be your answer in this draft. He had 9.5 sacks this past year and a great variety of pass rush moves flying off the edge. At number 8, it's Queens defensive lineman Darien Newell. He's the only USports product inside the top 10 of the final Central Scouting Bureau rankings for 2025. An incredibly impressive specimen of a pass rusher from the inside. He's got so much variety to his game, and he had to leave the CFL Combine due to personal reasons, but he only had one morning to really make his impact. And boy, did he ever. I mean, it was exceptional to see the way that he probably would have had 3 or 4 tackles for loss in a row in an inside run session. You go back and you watch the game film from his time at Queens, it's no surprise. He is going to be a great CFL player. At number 7, it's Utah receiver Damen Alfred. Now, he previously played for the Syracuse Orange, very productive in his time there, but the big note here on Alfred, 6'6". If you are looking for a long, rangy receiver, which we saw Nick Mardner go 2nd overall to the Ottawa Red Blacks previously, you have to think that Alfred is the one who's going to fill out that body as his career goes on, but somebody is going to want him to stretch things vertically. I think he could go potentially in the first 5 picks, depending on what receiver needs are for those teams. At number 6, it's UNLV offensive lineman Tiger Shanks. Lots of accolades, including being the first offensive lineman in program history for the Runnin' Rebels to have multiple first-team All-Mountain West selections. He is rising rapidly and is, as we say, the hot topic in and around the CFL Draft discussion. At number 5, it's Montana receiver Keelin White. I really think he has an opportunity to go 1st overall to the Calgary Stampeders. Really, anybody in those first 5 picks would make a great decision by deciding that White is their selection. He had 57 catches this past year for 628 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's been a really consistent performer, and I think after you watch a little bit of his game tape, CFL fans, you'll love being able to see what he's about. A possession-style receiver who's got a little bit of that top-end speed to be able to break the defense. He's going to go quickly. At number 4, it's Wyoming linebacker Connor Sheay. Now, he's not exactly Alex Singleton. Don't get too excited, but he does remind me of that. He is an absolute tackling machine, 76 this past season. He's 6'2", 232 pounds, and can move sideline to sideline with great ease. He played weak side linebacker for Wyoming. I think he's going to likely stay in that spot, potentially in certain spots. He could be a sub-package player in at middle linebacker as well, but he has got all of the tools to have a very long and successful CFL career. At number 3, it's LSU defensive lineman Paris Shannon. Again, great athletic testing scores, as you would expect for anybody in the top 5, but he is 268 pounds, which gives him the ability to potentially play a little bit of end, likely inside. I think the really important note here, though, is that he's got 49 career games played. Much of that came at Arizona before transferring to LSU, but now he's had 2 years of SEC seasoning. That will do him well going into the draft. At number 2, it's Indiana quarterback Curtis Rourke. Now, he had a torn ACL last year. He played through it. He is back up on his feet now, going through his rehabilitation. He's been cleared to throw. He's projected as a day 3 NFL draft pick. I wonder what is going to happen with Curtis, how long he's interested in staying down south. Obviously, his brother playing up here, he understands it's rare to get a chance to be a starting quarterback in the Canadian Football League as a Canadian quarterback. But being ranked number 2 shows you just how much the Central Scouting Bureau respects Curtis Rourke's game. And the top spot goes to Stanford receiver Elic Ayam. Now, I love his game. He had some explosive performances, specifically against the Colorado Buffaloes and the future Heisman Trophy winner in Travis Hunter. But I love the fact that he's got 125 career catches, 12 touchdowns as well. He ran a 4.44 second 40-yard dash. He's got top end speed, he's got size, he's got hands. He can do it all. That's how you end up at the top of the Central Scouting Bureau rankings. Well, we're getting closer and closer to draft day. Make sure you're following along on CFL.ca and of course, the CFL social channels as well to know everything that is happening as the big day gets near.